No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select 1 team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news. All from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RopePaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, good morning. We've got the band getting ready to play. We've got the guys blowing off the grass and cutting grass. You got people honking their horns. So a lot going on. Hopefully you can hear us okay. My name is BJ Rains. This is John Mallory, Johnny Ballgame, host of the Johnny Ballgame Show. Weekdays, 3 to 6, Johnny Ballgame Show.
About 10 years ago.
I just left Prater in the whole, that's a bad beat right there. Wow. Former host of the Johnny Ballgame Show, current host of Idaho Sports Talk, Prater and the Ballgame. And you can hear him 95.3 FM, 1350 AM. The Ticket, KTIK.com, all those good spots. Johnny, step a little forward a little bit. You look a little short there. We'll try to even this up a little bit.
There we go.
We are outside Albertsons Stadium. It's Monday. It's a new week. We're at the Western Collective Studios on the road outside the stadium. By the way, Johnny, our man Kerry Pruitt over at Western Collective, I went and checked out his new restaurant on Saturday night. Date night with my wife, Due West. You need to check it out, man.
I will.
They need to get out there for a date night. Maybe take your mom there. Due West is a prime spot. And it was awesome dinner. And again, you get a free app and a free dessert if you use the link that we put on social media. So check that out. But a lot to get to on today's show. Full pads again. They were just in full pads for the scrimmage on Saturday. They got Sunday off. Johnny, 2 days in a row now. Today and tomorrow, they'll be in full pads again ramping up the intensity. Tomorrow, we'll talk about it later, it'll be the Inferno practice. Better wear your T-shirt. This will be a little thick probably for the indoor practice tomorrow. But today, back in full pads, we're going to talk about that. We're going to hear from Spencer Danielson. We're going to talk about the scrimmage. A lot going on here as we start, I guess, officially week 3 of Boise State fall camp.
Yeah, I think, full pads is big for a few reasons. Sure, it can up the intensity. I think maybe coaches feel they can get more out of a full padded practice than one that isn't. I mean, they're coming off a scrimmage, so they're going to be excited. They had, as far as I know, yesterday off. I don't know if they were in the building for another reason, but I don't think they were practicing yesterday, BJ.
Off day yesterday.
It was an off day. Okay. It's an off day for all of us. That was nice, man. First off day we had in a while was the blow guy right between us. He's got no shame. He's got a job to do, man.
He looked at us and turned it on high power, I think. Yeah,
yeah. Anyway, so you can up the intensity a little bit with full pads, and I think people are going to be excited. I think this team's going to be ready to go coming off that scrimmage that we were told felt like a lot of things happened in that scrimmage. So yeah, this is the third week, or it will be on Wednesday of fall camp. It's coming along, BJ, and hopefully these coaches are able to find some of these tough decisions a little bit easier as camp goes on.
We're going to hear from Spencer Danielson here momentarily, his thoughts on the scrimmage, the quarterback battle. Want to get Johnny's take on that. A lot, again, to get to. So keep the comments rolling in. The ICCU YouTube chat always makes the show fun when we can get some of your questions, some of your comments answered. Nate Staley say, am I going Nick Saban with the fedora at practice today? Actually, the first time I wore this on the opening day of fall camp, Spencer Danielson went out of his way to come over and say, I'm going to start calling you Nick Saban. I guess I'll take one. Would I take 1/1000th of Nick Saban's career earnings? 1/100,000th. I wonder how far you'd have to.
You'd have more than you have right now in your bank account. I bet. Yeah.
But yes, I kind of a fall camp tradition. Wear the dumb, silly hat once in a while. And I thought it was supposed to be sunny today. Somebody is asking about the air quality. Bill is asking about it's not the worst it's been, but certainly not perfect, Johnny.
Agree. I think they'll be outside today based on seeing them outside in similar air quality.
You can see the guy on the towers already with the cameras getting set up.
So they're setting up. I saw the guys earlier there setting up the practice on the field. So it looks like we will be on the grass today watching practice, BJ, and a lot to get to, obviously.
Yeah, we're again, so help us on YouTube. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. We've surpassed 5,150, I believe. We're pushing towards 6,000. KTIK's YouTube channel is quickly catching up to us, so subscribe to them as well on their social media channels. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. They got the daily video segment and things they do at KTIK, but obviously 9 a.m. every morning, we're here on YouTube. So if you're watching on Facebook, as Allison Sessions is and some others, if you're watching on X, switch over to YouTube. It's just youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. Subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to get that channel above 6,000 as fast as we can. But Johnny, I want to hear Spencer Danielson's opening comments, but any preface to that, his opening statement for the scrimmage, any takeaways from Spencer, any takeaways on the scrimmage before we hear from Spencer?
Yeah, the offense, it felt like got off to a fast start. And I've seen that a couple of times throughout practice, too, where that opening possession, and that's just the nature of college football right now. It's hard to stop teams defensively, especially early on when they have everything pre-planned. They know what they're doing, and they were able to execute. It sounded like the offense was able to execute on that early drive that Spencer will talk about, BJ. And other than that, man, a lot of touchdowns. They gave us the report of all the offensive players who got into the end zone. I think it was 5 receivers and 2 running backs.
Yep.
That's a high level output.
And the two running backs were Tyler Crow and Caden Dudley.
Yeah, getting some reps, getting to play. And I don't know if maybe some of those drills were inside the red zone, so they were able to get a lot of those touchdowns. I don't know if they had enough time in a scrimmage. Maybe they did, to go on 7 scoring drives of how long? I mean, that's a long scrimmage if they did. So you might be like, how'd they score all that many touchdowns? The defense must have been awful. Well, maybe if they're just doing drills in the red zone and they count those stats, then it's a little harder for the defense. First and goal from the
2, you're eventually going to score.
Yeah, and maybe that's where T. Crow got some of his, or some of the other touchdowns, but that we don't know. But we do know is that Spencer Danielson seemed pretty darn happy, BJ, certainly with the offense, but also with the defense too.
Yeah, as you said, about 100 plays. It was a full pad scrimmage. Ashton Genty did not participate in the scrimmage, so no need to kind of get him some extra tackles. I would think maybe scrimmage 2, you get him a couple reps, maybe not. I don't know if he needs a live scrimmage rep or not, but Ashton Genty, keep that in mind, did not participate in the scrimmage on Saturday. Everybody else did. Johnny, the quarterbacks were also live for the early portion of the scrimmage, so the quarterbacks got hit a little bit, had to feel like that. And that is something they did in the spring, which they didn't do much previous at all. And so I think that is a change. Spencer's trying to get the quarterbacks, Dirk trying to get the quarterbacks feeling the pressure, feeling the heat. So a lot to get to on that quarterback battle. But first, Spencer Danielson, let's hear his opening comments after Saturday's scrimmage.
So scrimmage number 1, I mean, our guys did a really good job prepping for this. And as coaches, you have this scrimmage, you have next week's scrimmage, and then you've got 2 weeks till we play Georgia Southern. So this scrimmage, this was practice number 9, is just a really good barometer of where we're at. And that was my message to our team earlier today was, hey guys, it's not about what any of you did last season, what you did prior to being here, spring ball, summer. We are exactly who we put on film today. So there's no hiding from it. The good, the bad, there's no pointing fingers. Like, we have to embrace whatever we are right now because it's on film. That's the beautiful thing about football is you can't run from that. It's black and white. There's some guys today that did a really good job. There's some guys that have a lot of growth that still needs to happen prior to kickoff. So it's a really good deal for us as coaches. And then no different for me as the head coach, looking at the whole operation. How was it communication from the box to the sideline? How are we on subs from special teams? O, D, all those things. So the whole operation, and then a really good look at who we are on all sides of the ball from a schematic standpoint, but then more importantly for me is where are these individuals at? Not even just the individuals that are in a quote-unquote position battle, our whole team, because we are who we put on film right now, and it's all about how we grow from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2. So our guys did a good job. We had close to 100 plays today, which was my goal, to get guys a good feel. We went live, and there was some about the first 25% of the scrimmage, we had the quarterbacks go live too, just so they could feel what that was like for Maddox, Malachi, to feel the true rush, and you can get hit. Not just me blowing it dead. Really, the second half of the scrimmage, we did not have the quarterbacks go live, but all the ball carriers were live. So I'm proud of how they competed. I'm proud of how our guys showed up today. They've had a really good fall camp so far. Got some guys banged up, fighting their tail off to get back out in the field, get healthy. But I'm proud of where we are right now. But there's a lot we need to clean up on film. That's what I told our team. Like, we are right now, this is us. And so as coaches, we got to look at ourselves. Our players got to look in the mirror and say, how do I grow from now to Monday's practice? So proud of where we went to. We did some good things on either side of the ball. Offense started out with a great drive, 75-yard touchdown drive, which is great to see our operation. Defensively, we were able to grow from that drive with our starters and have a better rest of the scrimmage. Defense did a good job on third down. Offense had a ton of explosive plays. So there was really good back and forth from both sides, and we got some really good special teams work as well. So I'm proud of how our guys came out and competed. We still got a long way to go. Once again, we got a lot of work to do, coaches-wise, player-wise, but this is a really good evaluation for us of where we are right now.
What stood out there, BJ? First, the 25% live factor for the quarterbacks, and they went up to the fire, and it doesn't sound like they got burned. So that's great. And that's such a slippery slope now. You can't have your quarterbacks get hurt, get hit. But at some point or another, I mean, they don't take it easy on you in games. So that's got to be such a, I'll just use that term, a slippery slope of how much live to give them. Spencer went with 25% of the practice. Okay, defense, 25% of the practice. Everything we've ever told you, yeah, you can get after the quarterback right now. So that stood out. And also 100 plays. That's a good scrimmage. 100 plays. Now, were all those plays 50-50 probably divided between the two quarterbacks? As you know, probably not, right? There's probably, a long period there at the end where they want to see the third and the fourth team guys. They have to get some type of a look. Those guys don't get a lot of reps in practice. They don't just let everybody get a turn. We wear caps and sleeves at this level, son, right? You steal a quote from Lou Brown in Major League. Like, a lot of guys don't get to play much in practice. Maybe they got some run in the scrimmage so they could figure out maybe what they could do.
Okay, we got a lot of other things to talk about, but let's get to the quarterbacks. It's the one everybody's curious about, wanting to know about. I was a little surprised because we've talked about it. You said it on your show. Like, there's been one quarterback taking primarily all of the first team reps in fall camp. And then Spencer, and I was expecting Spencer Danielson to come out and really tell us that, Maddox Madsen was the leader at this point and was inching towards being the guy. And we got the opposite of that. We got a not giving you much. We got, and we're going to hear it here in a second. We got they both got reps with the ones, which really surprised me that Malachi Nelson got 1 reps when he really hasn't taken a ton during fall camp. And we got the fact that this was still a battle. And I thought Spencer went out of his way to make this seem like more of a battle than maybe those of us that watch practice or reading the tea leaves here would think this would be. What did you make of the quarterbacks and what we heard from Spencer before we hear the clip?
I thought it was informative that he said both 7 and 4 took reps with the Blues in the scrimmage game reps. And you're right that we haven't seen much, if any, of that in practice. But also, I'm trying to remember, too, I don't see a lot of moving and shaking with the 1s and 2s at any position. Maybe that's just some type of a philosophy. They don't want to play musical chairs and put guys in and out here and there. I know it might be different at quarterback, but maybe they just like that. And Malachi, works with the 2s, and there's some really good football players on the 2s too. Sometimes you don't know the difference out there, but maybe that had something to do with it there, BJ. Or what I think is Malachi's just really good too. And they're not ready to make a decision because Malachi's really good. Yeah. And he's smooth and he can operate. And they're thinking, gosh, maybe, the dreaded ceiling theory. The ceiling.
Don't mention higher ceiling to Dirk Cutter.
But I won't. Maybe that's still in play. And they see some stuff that the kid can do and say, And also, how about this? They know at some point they're going to need them both. Mm-hmm. They're playing ahead. What they start 3 quarterbacks last year? CJ Tiller was the 3rd, right? I mean, you're probably going to need 3. So maybe there's that too. But according to Spencer Danielson, this competition is still alive. It's still kicking, and I can't wait to see it today in practice.
And I would suspect this week is a big week for that quarterback battle. And then scrimmage number 2 next Saturday, I think, is probably the final exam.
Yep.
Because when school starts the following Monday, that becomes kind of a simulated game week. And then you have your practice game week, and then you have your full game week. But next week is when they start to implement some of the game plan stuff. And, if it's that close, 50-50, where they just can't decide, obviously it could go that next week. But I would suspect, Johnny, whether they announce it or not, they'll know who the starter is after scrimmage 2 on Saturday.
You think so? Yeah. I mean, because then they got to get their game week. I mean, it's not like they want to drag this out. I think most coaches would tell you they would love a quarterback competition to work itself out, right? And you just know who the guy is, you move forward, and everybody's happy. They haven't done that yet. So this is still a competition despite who's taking what reps and whatnot. In my opinion, there's still is camp even half over yet?
Well, it depends how you call it. Technically, I think camp ends, when school starts, because then you get into your 20 weeks. So I think technically the fall camp portion could end on Sunday.
This Sunday. So if this is the last.
Still 2 weeks till game week, so you could count that next week and then have your game week.
I think they're going to have a decision after this full week, and that's a lot of football left. So let's see what happens. Going into this thing, I think I said Malachi 51%, Maddox 49%. I would probably flip-flop that now and say Maddox, it's his position to win. It's his position to lose. But, man, Malachi's really good, too. It's a good problem to have, and let's let the smart people decide who's going to be the quarterback of this football team, not based on maybe potential, maybe an NFL draft slot in the future, or, hey, we're paying one guy money, we're not paying the other guy, any type of politics that would get into it. I'm trusting this staff's not going to play those games, man. At least I don't think Cutter will, and I don't think Spencer will either, for that matter. So, yeah, lots to get to this week for those two. And yeah, sure, Mad Duck's probably in the lead. I don't want to sugarcoat that, but we watch Malachi every day. He's really good too, and I would love to see what he did in the scrimmage. He might have had 2 or 3 plays where they said, kind of like the spring game over again. Are we really ready to make a decision yet? But also I know I'm rambling. One more thing: the 75-yard drive, opening drive of the scrimmage, probably the most important drive of that scrimmage. What happened? 75-yard drive, full of splash plays, driven by Maddox Madsen.
And a touchdown.
So got everything they wanted out of Mad Dog. He did exactly what they wanted him to do there.
Keep getting your comments in the ICCU YouTube chat. We'll get to those shortly. Your thoughts on the QB battle, let us know. We'll get to those. We're going to hear from Spencer Danielson on the quarterback battle in just a second. But first, quick timeout and a word from our great sponsors.
All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers. That includes the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer in the country to support an NIL collective. A portion of the proceeds from each sale of the Horseshoe Golden Ale go directly to Boise State student athletes via the Horseshoe Collective. Western Collective's beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, are available at most major retailers in Idaho. Western Collective, the studio sponsor at Bronco Nation News. Our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. For over 23 years, Row Painting has built a name synonymous with excellence in the painting and coatings industry. We serve a diverse portfolio of clients, including residential homeowners and homeowners associations, commercial businesses, general contractors, and industrial site purchasers. All of their clients receive the peace of mind that comes with expert project management, safe, skilled, and experienced painters, and professional-grade equipment. They provide a stress-free experience while solving your painting needs. They've completed more than 11,500 projects, including the back patio and garage in the Rains house, and they can do your project next. Our title sponsor, again, check them out online, roepaint.com. Give them a call, 208-991-0567. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics and the title sponsor of Bronco Nation News, roepaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union has been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. Don't have time to run to the branch to deposit your check? No problem. With Idaho Central Credit Union's mobile deposit feature in the mobile banking app, you can deposit your check anytime, anywhere. See why over 500,000 members love Idaho Central Credit Union. Again, that's 1 in 4 Idahoans. Make the switch today at ICCU.com. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Boise State Athletics as the official car and truck of the Broncos and through NIL deals with Jonah Dalmas, Andrew Simpson, Ahmed Hassanin, and Matt Lauder. 4 Boise State football players rocking vehicles from Lithia Ford, as well as Paige Barsh from the volleyball team and Brooke Patterson from the women's golf team. The fall kickoff sale is going on today at Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out online and view their full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. For your next car or truck purchase, think Lithia Ford. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Got some new commercial spots. I know some of you Debbie Downers like to complain and bitch and moan about the commercial spots, Johnny. But we got to take care of our sponsors. You're watching a free show, so there'll be a couple 2-minute breaks we'll be implementing during the show here. But appreciate you for sticking with us. Let's hear from Spencer Danielson. Yeah, we got to pay this guy's salary. That's why we need the commercial.
We're in contract talks right now.
We are. We're trying to negotiate for ball talks.
Ball talks not on yet. We're talking.
Oh, man. Let's hear from Spencer Danielson on the quarterback battle, and then we'll discuss in just a second.
The 75-yard drive, was that one? So on offense?
Yeah, it was Blues Maddox.
Okay.
Yeah, both quarterbacks did a good job today. Both competed. We put Malachi had some reps with the Blues, which is our ones. Maddox had some reps with the Blues. Maddox had some reps with the twos. Malachi had some reps with the ones. So Dirk Cutter did a really good job kind of mixing them in and out. And once again, that first half of the scrimmage, 25, 30%, whatever it was of plays, we're live for the quarterbacks too. So we're playing true football just as if it was August 31st. So got to go look at the film. Not going to go into the quarterback battle a ton right now. I can tell you both of them competed. Both of them had big throws. Both of them have some things we need to keep working to improve on. It was a really good evaluation.
With the quarterbacks, man, you're not going to get into, but we have some stuff we can't say of what we see at practice. But there's been one guy taking pretty much all the one reps that we've seen.
Yep.
How much of a battle is there actually going on at quarterback?
Yeah, it's every day. Everything's charted, and Dirk Cutter does a great job. That's why he's someone that I rely on so much in this situation, is because he's done it for a long time. He knows exactly what it takes to not only play the quarterback position but to win games. That's my biggest thing as a head coach. Me and Dirk talk after every practice exactly where Malachi is at, exactly where Maddox is at, the things that they need to improve on, and the things they're doing well. Because at the end of fall camp, prior to game, we're going to name our starter. And that's going to be whoever gives us the best chance to win games, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to develop young men and win football games, and they both did some good stuff today. And we're going to look at it to see there is going to be someone at the end of this when we evaluate that outplayed one or the other. That's the reality of football. We're going to look at the stats, look at who operated the offense better, who made more throws, who made better decisions. And when we sit down as a staff and watch it together later today, we're going to have a good evaluation of, hey, Maddox, this is exactly what you did. Malachi, this is exactly what you did. And then we'll look to see who played better. But that's something we're going to keep in-house, because I don't want our guys focused on that. I want them focused on how they are growing, right? I don't want guys focused on, what's going on with the next guy. Focus on yourself. And I get all the buzz about it. It should be. Quarterback at Boise State's a huge deal. But I want our guys focused on that. That's why we're going to keep that kind of stuff in-house. But there's going to be someone who played better than the other person today. It's football. And we'll look at that as a staff.
They will name a starter at some point.
Who do you think it was?
He said you put on the film and one quarterback will play better than the other quarterback. So, I mean, they're putting it out there. Again, I still would lean Maddox Madsen in this competition, Johnny, but I mean, the fact that they haven't announced them says that it's an open competition.
Yep,
still.
Open competition still, and who knows? Maybe we'll show up and practice will be run a little different than it has been in terms of who's throwing to who and who's doing what. Maybe they will mix it up. I'd love to know who won that. And one thing, like, don't you wish sometimes that you got the coach? Because when we get the coach right after the presser, like I had a money question there. The first question, what position group stood out the most? And I thought Spencer was going to grab that, toss it up, and nail that thing. And he's like, honestly, man, I haven't seen the tape yet, so I don't know. And it's so true. I get it. You have to see the tape, and then you know. But it'll be nice maybe, and now probably nobody cares next time we talk to him. But it would have been nice maybe if they would have watched the tape. But that's how it goes in the business. I don't know which quarterback did better. It sounds like they both played really well, and that's why there's not a starter yet. And I'm sounding like a broken record. We're just going to have to let this thing play out. And I think Bronco Nation's in really good hands, though. Whoever's going to win this gig won this gig, right, and is the best player for this team. You have to trust Dirk and Spencer, like I've said a million times on a couple of networks around here.
Do you think we're past the point where fans are going to be disappointed if it's Maddox?
I don't know, man, because I still get people, and I haven't seen these people at practice, man. I'm going to try to find them, but these people that are saying that, Mad Dog should have no business being the starter of this team. I read some of that crap. I'm not going to retweet it like this guy does and make a story out of it. Some of these stinking Gertrude McGillicuddies, man. Like, I think there's going to be that's like, no, Maddox is 5'8". He's from American Fork, Utah, and he's maxed out on his potential. He's not getting you where you need to go, even though you have a guy like Chris Peterson say, you think they care about height? I didn't, like that type of thing. So we'll see. But I do think that, a lot of people, because Malachi is a brilliant thrower of the football, and he's smooth and he's getting better. And you're just thinking, man, if there was a team like that just committed to Malachi, there was no Mad Dog there. You've been the starter since day one. You're taking 90% of the reps. We're doing all this, then that would be really good for him. But that's not how it goes in most cases, right? Yeah. You have to win jobs, and other guys want those gigs too. And dang, Mad Dog he's getting better, man. But I would hope, you could ask your listeners too. Deep down, are you going to be a little disappointed if it's Maddox Madsen starting at Georgia Southern?
Banana Lock says we are not past that.
Yeah, they want Malachi, and I get it, dude. He's the real deal, man. Yeah. I see the dude every day. He is silky. But so is the other guy.
Bob says trust Cutter. Both QB.
Yeah, that's where I am. That's where I am. And it feels like everybody said this who's talked to Coach and Coach Cutter and all these. Everybody said it. Feels like Dirk might be leaning towards Mad Dog. Ooh, listen to the Chris Peterson interview. KTIK felt like Coach Pete might have been leaning towards Mad Dog. But, Coach Pete was here last weekend. Yep. He missed all last week of Malachi in practice. And these practices are huge in that regard. You can gain that much race. But that's going to be, it's all, you have to find something, right, to be like, what are we doing with maybe? Yep. The Shirts and Skins guys will have a party with that one.
We've got 180 of you watching just on YouTube right now alone. That's a tremendous number. So if the 180 of you wouldn't mind hitting that like button down in the screen, I think it's on that side over there. Hit the little like button, the thumbs up, whatever it is. That we have 180 of you watching on YouTube and way less likes than that. So give us a quick like. If you're not a subscriber already, subscribe. Johnny doesn't care about this stuff, but it shows up in the algorithms. Yeah, it'll help us out a little bit here.
Come on, like this.
So like the video. And again, if you're not a subscriber of BNN, you just found the video, hit that subscribe button, and we would really appreciate that as well. Other side they're saying, so I guess it's over here. All right, the like button's on this side, I guess they're saying. Now, good to know. Thank you, Robbie Robinson. Johnny, there were some other standouts, though, at the scrimmage. Let's hear Spencer Danielson talking about the other highlights of the scrimmage on Saturday.
Cable's had a good day today. You talk about a young man who's not only a huge leader on our team, but came out and made some big plays for our offense. Austin Bolt had a couple big catches. Chris had a big catch. Sire Gaines ran the ball hard. Tyler Crow had a couple big-time bounce runs that he took for touchdowns. Really excited for that senior to be able to step up and do some really good things. So, and that's just to name a couple. So, there are some guys that had some explosive plays on offense, which is good to see. Ben Ford had a big catch. So our guys we're getting there, man. I'm proud of the growth we're having from our offense, creating explosive plays, because that's the game. The biggest stats that I look for is relentless effort. I'm talking games in regards to stats that directly correlate to winning. Relentless effort. We will outplay people from how we play. Secondly is explosives. Eliminating them on defense, creating them on offense. And then the third one is the turnover battle. If you win those 3 stats, you win football games. NFL, FBS, like those are the stats that directly correlate to winning. There's a lot of other things that we look at in regards to growing our players, third downs, red zone, all those things. But those 3 stats, as the head coach, we need to win those 3. When we do, we win football games. And so there's some good and bad on both sides. I'm excited to watch it and clean it up.
All right, there we go. Spencer Danielson and Johnny, a long list, as you said, of touchdowns. I know you got the list in front of you, but they didn't give us quarterback stats from the scrimmage. Obviously didn't want to put too much out there in terms of who did what at the quarterback position, but they did give us some of the touchdowns and big plays.
Touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns in the scrimmage, 2 from a guy who's having a tremendous camp, Tyler Crow. 2 things I've noticed from T. Crow real quick. 1, he's a grown-ass man. You can tell he's in his 6th year of college football. 2, he's one of the strongest, if not the strongest guy on the team. I'll throw in a third. He buys in. If you have all 3 of those things, and T. Crow does, you're going to find a way on the field. In the scrimmage, he scored twice. You said B.J. Caden Dudley had the other rushing touchdown, but, man, through the air. No one caught 2 touchdown passes, but 5 players caught at least 1. Latrell Caples, who you heard Spencer talk about, Trell is just balling, guys.
I'm really excited about him.
So many times this year, Bronco Nation is going to watch a game and say, oh, dude, it's so nice having Latrell back. I forgot him last year. You're going to love him.
Though, and say he also has the cool factor. He has the hair and he has the visor. The visor is awesome, dude. Latrell just looks like a bad mothered.
You know what's cool? In the video game, what I do at night, because I'm super cool, but I'll see what a guy wears in practice, and then I will go edit that player. Yeah. I'll give him a towel, this and that, and that's just some nerdy thing that I like to do. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll make notes at practice and update. I'm like, no one else is able to do that. My boys,
you have the most authentic.
I think so. Unless there's a player who's doing it too, like if Mario McCoy's playing, he's like, "Oh, I know what Irby's wearing. I know that." But anyway, so that was the receiving touchdowns. 5. BJ Latrell Caples caught 1. Chris Marshall caught 1. I mean, go figure. Chris Marshall. Anytime you throw him the ball, he makes a play. He just needs to be available. Yep. Chris Marshall. Prince, who's just blowing up this camp too. And then BJ, your guy, Cameron Bates, scored a touchdown.
Good for him.
In that scrimmage. And the final one was, who did I miss? Oh, Austin Bolt, who's having another heck of a camp. So it's like everybody you wanted in that receiver room to score a touchdown or do something in the scrimmage, I think did, man. And this is going to be real interesting. Now, one name we didn't see, Cam Camper, he's still battling. He's trying to be, I think the 3 for me, it's going to be Bolt, Prince, and Latrell. But I think Chris Marshall's too good not to be out there. He'll get run. And then for the 5th, is that Camper? Is that a Penry? Is that Cam Bates sometimes? I don't know, but it's a good problem to have too. But those are the stats. And defensively, real quick, Alexander Tubner, he'll be on KTIK today. He recovered a fumble. And Marco Notriani, who is having a terrific camp too, as you've heard. He had a pick and a sack. So those are a couple of highlights from Saturday's scrimmage.
I want to hear one more Spencer clip about the depth of this team. I want to get to some of your ICCU YouTube comments. I want to talk about the interviews we're getting today because you have an interesting one as well. We got plenty still to get to, but another quick timeout here on Bronco Nation News.
The Treasure Valley freestanding Taco Bell stores are hiring. Check out TacoBellWorks.com to apply for a job. Great promotional opportunities, free food while you work, half your wages the next day after your shift. If you're looking for a new job, think Taco Bell. SON Management Group and the Nicolason family and TacoBellWorks.com. Taco Bell serves up some of the best breakfast in the Valley. Try the breakfast sausage quesadilla, the breakfast California crunch wrap, the toasted breakfast sausage or bacon burrito, or the breakfast crunch wrap combo. Bronco Nation News thanks Taco Bell, the SON Management Group, and the Nicolason family for their support. Get more information on their impact on the community and apply for a job at TacoBellWorks.com. Check out the Blue and Orange Store for all your Boise State gear. The blueandorange.store.com has great deals on the latest hats, jerseys, sweatshirts, jackets, bumper stickers, car flags, and more. Get the latest Ashton Genty Heisman shirts, the NIL gear, coaches sideline apparel, and more. You have many options when it comes to buying your Boise State gear, but you won't find a better and bigger selection than the Blue and Orange Store. Thanks to Travis Hawks and company for their support. Return the favor and shop at the Blue and Orange Store and get ready for game day. Again, you can shop from anywhere online at theblueandorangestore.com or check them out the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall. The best way to start your day is at Jackson's. Step inside Jackson's food stores and discover convenience that goes beyond the pump. From fresh brewed coffee and delicious snacks to a wide selection of groceries and everyday essentials, we've got you covered. Jackson's supports Boise State through NIL deals for Ahmed Hassanin and Breezy Dubar. Don't forget, 25 cents from every hot dog purchase from a Treasure Valley Jackson store goes directly to the Horseshoe Collective. Snag that free banana when you buy a fountain drink, coffee, deli sandwich, or wrap. Find a location near you and sign up for Let's Go Rewards at jacksons.com. Check out Snake River Pool and Spa, Idaho's #1 local dealer for over 45 years. Whether it's a hot spring spa like the Rains family has, or a pool table, sauna, patio furniture, and more, check out Snake River Pool and Spa. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game are proud partner of Bronco Athletics, supporting the Broncos pools and spas. Check out thespateam.com for pricing, brochures, financing options, specials, and more. Whether it's a hot spring spa, a pool table, or an air hockey table for the game room, Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game has it all. The Rains family recently purchased our hot spring Limelight Flash Spa, and we couldn't be happier with the purchase. The installation process was easy, and the spa was up and running in no time. Check out their full inventory and turn your dream into a reality at thespateam.com.
All right, Johnny and I are outside Albertsons Stadium. This is Bronco Nation News Live. We're in the Western Collective Studios. Outdoors today, kind of a, can we call it smoky or kind of hazy? I don't know what the proper term would be today, but certainly not crystal clear air quality, but they are practicing outside today. Again, full padded practice today, so we'll be out there with some highlights. The intensity is probably going to ramp up after that. After that scrimmage on Saturday, there was some film study. May have some guys fired up to get back on the field today.
That's why it's going to be a big practice. That's probably why Spencer said, dude, let's put the full pads on. Guys liked hearing the pads pop a little bit. Let's tone it down a little, but still try to keep that type of energy and physicality what we can. This is going to be a physical football team. If Spencer Danielson has his footprints on it, and he does, so I expect them to make a point, say, hey, we're going to be the physical one. And sometimes you can't do that if you're not physical at all during any practice. That's a tough switch to turn on.
Hey, one guy that's been really impressive, I'm talking to him, I think today, for a story. You guys had him on your show last week. You mentioned the 2 rushing touchdowns, Tyler Crow. I got about a 25-second bite from Spencer here. But Tyler Crow, Johnny, he was a guy that we're talking about Dubar. We're talking about Sire Gaines. We're talking about Dylan Riley, the freshman coming in. We hear, Tyler Crow's moving to fullback, thinking he'll just be a blocker. He's not going to be involved, whatever. I mean, he's getting meaningful carries in practice. Tyler Crow, I think, is going to be a storyline for this team this year.
I think Dirk's going to go back to the package he ran 2 years ago, and he ran it a lot, where he'd have 2 running backs in a shotgun formation. One of those running backs was a fullback. Think Kyle Juszczyk with the San Francisco 49ers. If Tyler Crow can be kind of a poor man's version or a collegiate version of that, then that's a nice little role for him. And I have a feeling we're going to watch these games and we're going to say, yep, there's Dirk. He's in shotgun with 2 backs. Genty's to the left of the quarterback. T. Crow is to the right, and he can block. He can catch. He can run the ball. So, yeah, I think they're going to use him in those type of packages, maybe on the goal line. Maybe T. Crow's the fullback or some type of spot in the Clydesdale package.
Yeah.
I don't know, but everybody's fired up. Like I said, he's a grown man. You can tell he's in his 6th year. He's strong as hell, and he's smart, and he gets it, and he buys in, and everybody loves him.
Let's hear from Spencer Danielson on Tyler Crow.
He keeps earning it every single day, BJ. I mean, you talk about a young man that similar to some of the guys we talked about, Jonah, too. I mean, he's earned it every single second he's been here. And no different what he's doing now. Was out in spring with an injury, kept training, kept working. He's one of the strongest guys in our team. And he's a guy that he's made it to where we have to find a way to get him a role. We have to give him the ball. We have to get him in these situations because he's earned it. He's earned it. It's not just because, we like Tyler Crow better than somebody else. He's earned it. And he's going to have a big role in our offense and on special teams.
Excited to see Tyler Crow. Excited to talk to him. I know you guys had him on your show, right? Folks can go back
He's the best.
Watch that or listen to that Idaho Sports Talk KTIK app, KTIK.com, and find that out. And Johnny, I know we still got a few minutes here, but speaking of interviews, looking forward to talking to Eric Chenander today. I'll be talking to him, defensive coordinator. I know you got a couple fun interviews today as well.
Yeah, KTIK, you will hear today from Alexander Tubner, defensive captain. Want to figure out how much better this secondary is going to be from a guy who's been a starter for, certainly last year, but played a lot the year before in tubes. And here's an interesting one. Max Cutforth. We send the sports information directors who we want to talk to, and some come back, some don't, whatever the case is. And I just kind of threw Cutforth out there. It looks like he's QB3. He's getting through team stuff. He's from Nampa, Skyview High. So, and who's got a better seat in the quarterback competition than Max Cutforth? He goes after both of them in every drill in what fourth. So, we're going to bring Max Cutforth on KTIK today and talk to him about him getting to where he is, but also, quarterback to quarterback views. Let's see what Max Cutforth thinks. I'm not going to ask him who he thinks is going to win the gig. Stop it with that stuff. But I'm going to ask him what each does well and, kind of where he sees things. So, yeah, that's going to be a fun one today with Max Cutforth.
Yeah, cool story. Local kid getting an opportunity out there. So, again, like this video. Let's go. We got 188 of you on YouTube. My wife gets on me. She says, you got to tell people to subscribe more, and you got to tell them to like the videos more.
JP says the same thing to me every day. Johnny,
right.
You got to say call. Johnny, you got to say subscribe, like. So seriously, BJ, no one's working harder on this type of platform than BJ Rains. The least you could do, guys, give him a like. Let's get 10 likes collectively together right now. I think we could do it. Just 10.
Hey,
and we'll stop,
No, I was going to say, we got a couple minutes left. I do want to hear one more Spencer Danielson bite, but yes, do what Johnny said.
Yes, gosh, guys, give him a like.
By the
Even
way,
if you hate his ass, just like him. His wife's looking. Come on, don't embarrass him.
By the way, shout out Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher. Appreciate him and his team for all their help on our house we were buying or selling. So check them out online, BauscherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, 13 locations around the state of Idaho. Check them out, shopridleys.com. You can download that Skip app. Good savings up to 40% off the checkout line. Again, shopridleys.com. Ridley's Family Markets. You need, Lean Feast. You need leanfeastmeridian.com as your website you need to go to. There's flies everywhere here, Johnny, by the way. These flies are not helping out with the broadcast. Leanfeastmeridian.com. 10,000 combinations, healthy meals, all the different diets. Check them out right there in Meridian on Eagle Road. Leanfeastmeridian.com. You will not be disappointed. And Circa Sports. They got the contest going on. We're going down in about 10 days, Johnny. A week from Thursday, I'll be doing the show from Circa Resort and Casino for their contest weekend. So if you're interested, I can sign you up. It's $1,000 for the Survivor contest, $1,000 for the Millions contest. Get a couple buddies together, split the cost, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. You have to enter in Vegas, and I can enter for you, but you can play anywhere in the world thanks to Tom Carroll, our proxy, Vegas football proxy. This is 100% legal, so check them out. Tom Carroll, Vegas football proxy, and again, Circa Resort and Circa Resort and Casino. All right, final bite I want to play real quick. It's about a 40-second bite. Spencer Danielson on the depth. Johnny, really quick in 10 seconds. What do you make of the depth of this team?
I like it. I think it's better than it's been in several years.
Here's Spencer Danielson answering a question from Big Game Bob Beeler on the depth of the overall team.
Building the Bob. I mean, we've got a really good group of guys that have been here that have played, but there's a lot of positions right now that there's a big difference between the starter and the number two. And as a coach, we need that number two to keep growing, because the reality of it is, and I tell our players is, just because you're the number two on the depth chart does not mean that you're going to play in a game. I hope you earn that, but I'm not going to put anybody on that field that hasn't earned it. Not just because, well, I'm the number two and the number one guy's banged up or needs a breather. You better earn it. And there's majority of those positions we have that, but there's some positions, O&D, where that number two has not earned it for the trust from the coaches and his teammates for me to put on the field against Georgia Southern. So yes, I think we're in a good spot, but we still got a long way to go in regards to our depth. There's still too much of a barrier between the starter and the number two.
All right, the depth of this team certainly is something we'll be watching. Johnny, again, full pads today, and then tomorrow, that good old Inferno practice.
Ah, yes. Are they going to let me just get away with a tank top? Like, could I just wear this shirt?
Would you do that?
Never.
Look at that. Look at this. Look at this.
Never. Get off of me, man. Yeah, would they? No. You have to dress light, though. Wear one of those, like, dry fit shirts. It's going to be hot as hell in there, but they need it. I mean, that's what Georgia Southern's going to be like. This team,
somebody did ask.
They're trying to dot every I and cross every T on this thing, BJ, and they think that the Inferno practice works. Spencer's a believer in it. Heat them up. This is going to happen. That way you're not going to sit there on August 31st and say, dang, we've never been in this type of heat before. What are we going to do here? This is going to be a lot harder than we thought.
Well, I mean, Florida State, we're down in the second half, and Boise State surged past them and made that comeback against Florida State. So it works. And I know in the past, Brian Harsin would kind of try to keep that quiet. They don't want Florida State or UCF knowing that they're preparing for the heat, but they put it right there on the fall camp schedule. Inferno practice tomorrow. But today, and by the way, thank you, Jennifer. Really appreciate you. Says she already subscribed on YouTube and is a paid subscriber to BNN. Thanks for everything. Go Broncos. Appreciate you, Jennifer. Again, $50 if you want that full year of coverage using that promo code BNN50 deal. And again, I got to give this guy a raise. We're bringing Ball Talk back for another year. That's going to start, I believe, next Wednesday, hopefully, if we can come to an agreement on a deal. Mike Sanford may be hosting it by himself if we can't get a few more subscribers. So help out. Let's get Johnny back on Ball Talk. Maybe have you involved.
Now you're making me look like the villain. Yeah, I get it.
Whatever gets us another 50
I'm the villain here. Mike Sanford might have to host by himself.
The band is doing some warm-ups over there, so hopefully you can still hear us okay. But Johnny, final thing. Again, scrimmage on Saturday, day off yesterday. Now they're right back in full pads today. When we bust through those gates and watch the practice today, what are you going to be checking out?
Everybody's ready. This is now almost week 3 of fall camp. Nothing's new anymore. And I think certain position groups, these players know where they sit. They know where they want to be. And if they're sitting where they want to be, they know they got to keep it. If they're not sitting where they want to be, they know they got to get there. We're going to see that today. And Bronco Nation, it's hard to temper the emotions for how good I think this team can be. I really do. I'm buying in now. We're not at 7 practices a day with 7 different teams to compare it. But this team, compared to other teams I've seen here, BJ, these guys are good, man. These guys are flying around. And if you have high expectations, you should. And Spencer Danielson, we want that. We want high expectations. There should be high expectations. Genty didn't even play in the scrimmage. I'm so ready just for them to say, like Brooks did in Shawshank Redemption to the bird Jake. He raised the crow up that fell, and there's that scene where he lets him go. I can't wait till this coaching staff on Georgia Southern can just be like, wait. There's no reservations. Oh, we can call that now? Oh, okay. We can just use him. Like we can maybe give him the ball 27 times. He doesn't have to just stand there on the sidelines and coach the running backs behind him. It's basically what Ashton Genty is a lot on camp. He is a coach. That guy is very invested in the players behind him. It's crazy. Him and JMO are like, they have 2 coaches. They have JMO and then they have Genty. But it'll be nice when they can just say, no, Coach Genty, go. I think he's just going to freaking destroy Georgia Southern too. Like I do, BJ. 200 scrimmage yards, couple of teeters. I'm really excited to see this team.
Tyree, one of the many, giving you some shout-outs, Johnny. Ballgame always has the energy. Love the shows when he co-hosts. So thank you, Tyree. Thanks, you, Alexandra. She shares BNN videos all the time. All you guys for commenting. We appreciate you. Johnny, I hear the whistle blowing, so practice is getting underway. We're going to get over there and check out, again, full pads today. You can hear them 3 to 6. And, again, 3 to 6, KTIK 95.3 FM, 1350 AM. They're going to have some interviews, analysis. Going to be a great show today. Make sure you're listening. KTIK at 3 o'clock. Check our social media as well. Johnny and I will be out there trying to get some footage, hopefully, of some viral catches and things. So we'll get you some coverage. We'll get you the interviews after practice. Again, Eric Chenander is among the coaches that I'll be talking to after practice. Tyler Crow as well. We'll get those posted to the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel, Johnny, which if you're a subscriber of, you'll get that video. You can turn on that notification button as well. So anytime we post a video or go live, you'll be able to see that. Johnny, this we'll see when it all shakes, in the next 24 hours. But to this point, it looks like a record viewership of a fall camp broadcast on Bronco Nation.
People are ready, man. People are ready.
Seriously appreciate all you guys. I know we joke around about it, but it really does mean a lot when you watch, when you subscribe, when you comment, when you like. Thank you so much for your support of Bronco Nation News and for letting us jack wagons joke around for 45 minutes and talk football. So have a great rest of your day. Watch them at 3 o'clock. Check the BNN YouTube channel later. I'll have a story on Tyler Crow, working on an Ashton Genty story as well. Tons of coverage coming. You won't get it anywhere better than KTVB, KTIK, and BNN, the trio of outlets that we have working together here. So Jay Tust and I tomorrow, and appreciate you. Talk to you guys later. Go subscribe if you can. $50, Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.